I want to move on to something real estate related,
Right.
Statistics, which I want to talk about for Tampa. And, I want to talk about the September stats because they just came out and they're pretty telling for me. I tend to do what I can to kind of give you guys a little bit of an understanding of how to interpret these statistics, because if you read them, the shock value, and I hope the press doesn't take this and run with it, shows a big drop in home sales and all kinds of figures that would spook a lot of people. But it also doesn't take into context that there were at least 2 weeks that were basically useless in the real estate world for September.
Exactly.
Closings getting canceled, closing getting pushed, and all types of things. So take these with a grain of salt. And know that the hurricane had a major impact on them, not just because the storm and the damage, but also the emotional impact of buyers not wanting to buy, pushing off their purchase, sellers deciding to wait, damage that was caused, and then the general shock factor of the news cycle of people just getting engulfed in it. So,
And we've talked about it previously as well. There's going to be a hangover from it for a while
Sure.
too, so I personally expect October's numbers to look worse than September. But it does seem like it's
our October is going to be
picking back
better
up.
than our September, but November for us is looking incredible, which is really odd
Right.
because November is usually terrible. So
Right.
I think the displaced sales are going to be replaced into November and December.
Right, agreed.
So September we had 2,471 sales. So put that into context. Last year we had 2,945. The year before that we had 2,662, and September 14 we had 2,402. So back 3 years before we had a September with fewer sales. Our average sale price was still very solid at $262,499, which is up from August. It's just the number of sales was drastically lacking. Inventory went from 2.4 months to 3.2 months, so we saw an increase in inventory. Hallelujah, we need some inventory.
We do.
But so, putting that into context, 1,000 homes sold drop month over month. August 3446, September 2471.
That's enormous.
That is an enormous drop. That's a drop that we haven't seen in a decade in Tampa.
Right.
There has not been a month that has seen 1,000 unit drop in over a decade. And again, it's the storm.
Yeah,
we
I
know
was gonna
that's what
say,
it is.
it's
It's not the
huge
market.
that the storm affects it
We're
that
going to
much.
end up seeing greater numbers in November and December than we've seen in a long time. I'll predict it now. But the saturation rates, everything is dramatically different. But again, that's a really low sales month. Now, I'm hopeful that we'll see more sales in November, December. But if we end up seeing a November and December that is comparable to 16 or 15, and we don't have as many sales, it could be the sign of things to come. It
Right.
could be that Irma jump-started the downturn in our market. I don't think that'll be the case, but we'll see.
It's bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, and so, but again, there are going to certainly be some media that will come out and say these statistics show all kinds of concerning things about the real estate market. But again, we had 2 weeks where homes weren't being shown, homes weren't being listed, and no one was paying attention to real estate.
Exactly.
Everyone was glued to the news, expecting devastation and destruction. That didn't happen, fortunately, for most of Tampa Bay.
Right.
But nonetheless, that's what the stats come in at. And again, similar trends with the number of higher price sales, list to sell price ratios, a lot of consistency in the numbers. The part where it wasn't consistent is the number of homes sold. So what I did briefly was look at the pending sales to see if there was a big balloon in pending sales, which basically meant just homes just not getting closed.
Right.
And that number was high, a balloon up too. So my belief is you'll start to see those closings spread into the next few months, and
Right.
I'm hopeful that October won't be as bad, but I guess it remains to be seen. For us, October looks better than September, and November. For November, the pendings that we have with 2 weeks left in the month, or close to 2 weeks left in the month, is already what October closings are looking
Right.
like.
Well, so my personal, September was fantastic. October, not looking great, but November, like you said, with 2 weeks left, I'm already going to do double what I did in October. So to me, that's a sign that November is going to be back on track.
So that's what I'm hopeful for too.